What is up, people? This right here, this video is technically the kickoff to my channel. I did have an introduction, so for those who haven't checked it out, if you want to, check it out. If you want to start from here, start fresh, this is Tony Talks, where I just talk about certain topics that are on my mind, that are on the media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or something I see on the news, or whatever, I feel strongly about, I'm going to throw on here just so you see my reaction. You don't read it, you don't whatever. What you see is what you get, kind of deal. So what I'm going to talk about in this first video for the kickoff is something I talked about before. Certain topics I have, certain topics came up that I will talk about. Well, this right here is going to be why I think society, what's wrong with society, kind of deal. There's a few points I have over here, and again, if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. First of all, let me just say, for those who don't know, trust me, I'm not into the horoscope or whatever, but there is some things I read. I am a Taurus, and some of the things I read definitely pertain to me. I'm strong-minded, and also some of the points that I have are my opinions. I stand still on. Some I don't. Some, if you can bring up a good enough argument to them, I might change my mind. Other ones, I'll stand still till the day I take my last breath. This topic I'm going to talk about in 2 seconds is one that I have not heard a good enough argument or whatever to stray me off my I guess high horse or whatever you want to call it. This one, I think nowadays in society, people worry about looks too much, and it gets them in trouble. One of the newer things that came up a couple weeks ago, I was looking, it was all over the place. It was on the news, it was on Facebook, it was on Twitter, it was on everything. So this just adds to my fact more. You get a picture of this guy, I don't know if he's in a gang or whatever, but this guy, he gets arrested, and then they take a mugshot of him. And on the bottom, clearly, it reads, this man was arrested for assault, carrying a deadly weapon, and a whole slew and list of these charges. And on the bottom of everything is these comments from these girls saying, oh my God, he's so hot, this, that, this, he's really good looking, he does this, he whatever. And after reading it, I looked and I just laughed to myself, because it lists that this guy's violent, he did all this, he beat people up, he's a known criminal, and yet people look past that. I mean, there's certain people that definitely didn't, other people that did. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if it's social media or whatever, but then a couple days after, they said that this guy, he got a modeling deal. So again, I could have been reading the wrong thing. It could be totally fake, but I read this thing and then it pissed me off seeing someone who got arrested for all these charges getting a job after. Again, like I said, it could be totally false. It could be made up. But when I read it, I seen it other places, and it said that this guy right after got a modeling deal. That it just I don't know. It just makes me laugh all the freaking time. So nowadays, that's one thing I'll stick on till. Nowadays, people worry about looks too much, way too much. I mean, one thing, looks do fade away. I read a quote, looks fade away. It's a personality. It's the person itself that you should go for. But nowadays, whether it be girls or guys, they don't. They look at a pretty face and they go straight for it. Maybe when I was younger, I technically, no, I didn't, because I was single my whole life. But a pretty face would catch me a little bit more than it does now. Nowadays, you could have the prettiest face. If your personality is horrible or nothing that I can relate with, congratulations, you're a pretty face, yes. But again, nowadays, people definitely worry about looks a little bit too much. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot. Another topic I want to get on. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of certain topics. Another thing is talking these days, the language that's around, and this is going to be geared towards, I guess, the youth of America. Well, nowadays, to get people out of trouble or whatever, they'll use these words, and I'm sure if you've seen these either on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, there's two words I'm going to talk about. One is thirsty, which is one thing, and the other one is, I guess you would call it thot. Thot. When I was younger, and this was years ago, girls had cooties. Yes, they had cooties, and you had to get a cootie shot and everything else. And I was innocent, making fun of if you didn't want to talk to girls when you were young, whatever. Nowadays, you look, thirsty supposedly means if a guy sees a girl break up with her boyfriend, or sees something and they comment on a picture, or they comment on a Facebook status or whatever, the guy automatically becomes thirsty because he wants to jump on the thing as soon as he can. Whatever. Nowadays, that word is thrown out way too much, and that's where certain things come into play. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to put it, but thirsty is in the word, and thot nowadays, I guess, is another word for slut or something. I don't never really got into, but nowadays people use these words to get themselves out of trouble. Say if there's a guy that goes after this girl and she turns him down, she already becomes something else. He was after her first, or the girl was after a guy and she, got turned down. He automatically becomes thirsty because he liked the picture or whatever. And like I said, when I was younger, I was cooties. I've seen all these things on pages and all these little kids and videos on YouTube and all this of little kids using these words, and it's like, what happened to society? Like, these younger kids getting younger and younger and younger. When I was younger, I had no idea what most of these words are. I didn't realize what certain words were until I hit high school. I didn't know about it. Nowadays, these kids are like 6, 7 years old and all this, mimicking what they see on any given social media, and it's just getting worse and worse with society. With those two words, it's just funny. I laugh at every time I see it because people actually use it and mean it, and they think it's a good way to argue or something. And oh, you're this, no, you're thirsty. I don't know. It makes me laugh most of the time. Another thing I want to talk about is a little bit too much use in media, social media, meaning, yes, if you're watching this video now, I have a YouTube, I got a Twitter, I got every form of social media there is. Nowadays, people take it to the extreme. They live through either social media or gaming or whatever, and my whole thing is people don't know how to hold a conversation anymore because they're stuck in this world. Back then, when my parents were young, the only way you can communicate with someone is either through the phone or going and socializing other ways. You didn't have computers, you didn't have this. The only way you can actually talk to someone is either over the phone or meeting them face to face, in person kind of deal. Nowadays, it's completely different. That's why you have catfishes. That's why you have lack of communication between people. People don't know how to talk because it's either through Instagram, over Facebook. Yeah, we still have phones and cell phones and whatever. That's a little step up. You still have to conversate with certain people, but other people, if you try to go up to them and talk to them face to face, the one, they don't know what to talk about. Two, they have no idea how to present themselves, kind of deal. So I think social media itself is good. I guess it's a sign of the times. It's growing and everything, but there's also a downfall of it, and that's one of the things, because people don't know how to communicate, don't know what to do when the time comes that they're going to have to eventually go up, meet someone in person or something, and they just don't know how to do it. And the last thing I want to talk about is when I was younger, I was completely different than I am today. I was very shy. I was very not outgoing, and I did take a lot of things to heart, which my friends know who I hung out with. I'm a person, still to these days, I do take certain things to heart, but other what I used to, it's just water under the bridge kind of deal. Nowadays, people are too sensitive. You know, they take one thing and run with it, and it's just, I think that conveys into the whole fact that people don't know how to communicate. Some people are just way too uptight about certain things, and just don't know how to, I don't know, take certain things lighthearted or whatever, because people don't know how to talk. Like, when I talk, you can tell my sarcasm between my everyday talk. Nowadays, some people don't know, or cannot pick up on sarcasm, and they'll you know, definitely get mad at it. Sarcasm, there's always a little bit of truth, but it's not making fun of or whatever. It's kind of telling a person, whatever you have in your mind, it's stupid. Don't worry about it. Just let it go, kind of deal. But nowadays, people don't know how to take that. People don't know that there are people out there that aren't making fun of you, aren't whatever. They're just trying to help you out. And that's another thing. People, I think, are way too sensitive nowadays because of the whole fact that they don't know, can't read people, I guess you want to call it. Those are a few things that, I would like to see change in society, but I don't think it's going to actually have an effect. So, again, if you disagree with any of the things I said in this video, let me know. Comment me. If you agree with it, comment me. That's pretty much this first video. I will have other ones. I do every day. I read something that I disagree with, or I agree with, that I think other people should know, kind of deal. If you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, definitely leave that comment or question in my comment section. Or if you don't want other people to see what you wrote, leave me a personal message and I'll get to it and read it and whatever. So hopefully you enjoyed what I said, or you have an opinion on what I said. So until the next time, I will see you.